Good afternoon. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Coffee and a Card. So I am Holly with Handcrafted Blessings and looking forward to crafting with you here today. So I've got a fall birthday card that we're going to make today. And I've got some happy mail, and actually I have a new pack of paper to show you that I haven't showed here on Facebook Live before. So it's not new in terms of, it didn't just come out, but like I said, it's just one that I hadn't shown before. So we'll take a look at that today too. So welcome to you guys who are coming in here today. I felt like we needed a fall card for birthdays. So I've done some fall with the Hello Harvest. I've done a few with that one, but today I am going to do a little bit different one. So that's what we got to look forward here today. So hello Carol and Patricia, welcome. Hi Pam and Kathy. Welcome to everybody who's coming in here today for Facebook Live. So let's see here. There we go. I think I got it. I've been playing with my phone stand and trying to get it to work a little bit smoother. So we'll see how this goes here today. All right, I'm going to start with Happy Mail. And if you're new around here, this is what I call it when y'all send me cards, because I love to show off your creativity and what you've been making. So we're going to open some cards here today and see what you guys have been up to. So this first one is from Linda Johnson in Florida. And she's got the cute little flowers. And the base, I know you can't really tell, but the base is actually like embossed as well. So, oh, and then she's got her note on the inside. But that's a cute way to just show off like 3 different stamps there on the front of a card. Okay, our next one is from Terry in Washington. And we've got the dragonflies. Such a fun set. And I know this set has been out for a while, but it's still fun to see ideas with this. So this is, I'm not going to remember the name of this stamp set, but it's in the annual catalog. We'll go with that. And I bet somebody in the comments will tell us what it's called, because you guys are good at that. So it's got a little dragonfly on the inside. So super cute, and I love that it's all just black and white. That's really a neat way to just highlight black and white. So what it reminds you is that you don't have to color something. Just because it's a lined image like this or black and white paper like this, you can just leave it just black and white. All right, let's see who's next. We've got one from Denise Benda in, Iowa. So, and she's got a fall related card. So I look out my window and I see there is a tree out my window that has leaves that are all of this color. And then there's another one that's pretty close to this, a little bit brighter, but it's fun to see. This is like a representation of my backyard. And then it says, "So grateful" on the inside. Okay, last but not least, it's another fall card from Kim Glover in Minnesota. And you can see, there we go. Nice look at her embossed background there with the fall leaf embossing folder. So, Carol, that's great to hear. I love showing off the cards that I get. So, once in a while I do get a card from somebody who says, "Don't show on Facebook Live." That's okay too. But otherwise, I think it's fun to see the creativity of others and what people have been up to. It might just give you a new layout idea or a way to use a stamp set that you haven't used yet. So yeah, I love showing off your creativity. Okay, so we are going to transition to making a card. So we're going to see if my fixes on this worked. Maybe. Or not. We'll get it one of these days. I promise. We're going to have this all sorted out. You know, it's funny. Technology is a funny thing. Like, it's working. It works and works and works. And then all of a sudden it doesn't. And nothing changed. It just stopped working. So, I don't know what's up with that. But that's just how it works sometimes, right? All right, so we're gonna make this fall fun fold here today. So this is what we are working with here today. So it's kind of a modified Z fold, if you will. I don't know. Honestly, you guys, I make up names to card folds because I don't really know if they have real names or not. But that's the name I got for you. Okay, this paper is called Celebrate Everything. And it has lots of occasions in it. So this is a, it's got 48 sheets in it of 12 by 12. And I'm just going to show you, let's see if I can fan this out a little well here. So we've got some stripes. Oh, that's pretty. That would be a fun birthday pattern too. Wow, I love how bright these colors are. Can you tell I haven't really looked through all of these either? I'm seeing some of these for the first time with you. We got some paper, be good for 4th of July. Now here's the paper I'm using today, which is this fall leaf paper. Just have some fun patterns in here with some very bright, bold colors. We got some Halloween. And there's 4 sheets of each in here. Oh, kind of a tree bark almost type pattern. Let's see, a few more. We've got some stars. And oh, stars and stripes. Let's see, we've got Christmas ornaments. And kind of like bows on ribbons, kind of looks like. We've got some trees and some green. And I don't know, kind of wavy, scallopy pattern. Some more fireworks. And then last but not least is this Christmas pattern with the holly and the gingerbread men. So a lot of different patterns here in this paper. And I am going to use the fall paper. Let me bring that piece over here. This one here. That's what we're going to use today. So because of the colors inside of this, I have decided to go with Granny Apple Green and Basic White. And that's really all there is to it. Now I've got a lot of scraps here going on because we got a lot of pieces to cut in this card. So bear with me here, you guys. We are going to do a lot of cutting because this card has a lot of pieces. So I'm actually going to start with all of the cutting, and then we'll come back and we'll score the base and make our actual card. So I should tell you my base is 4 1/4 by 11. So that one has already been cut. So 4 1/4 by 11. And then we'll start with our, let's start with our Basic White. So the first thing we need is all of our background mats. So we're going to need 3 1/2, and I'm going to start from the left side of the card to the right side of the card. So I know some of you like to write down the measurements as we go, and so you can, sorry, I was reading, I just got distracted by comments. So I'm giving you measurements from the left side of the card to the right side of the card, okay, in terms of the panels. So the first one is going to be 3 1/2 by 4. So let's just see, what is this? And because I'm using scraps, you're going to see me kind of play around with my paper to try to get the most out of it that I can. All right, so 3 1/2 by 4. So there's one. The next one is going to be 2 1/2 by 4. And we're just going to see if any of these, ooh, I think this one might work. So 2 1/2 by 4. And I think that's already 4. All right. So then the third one is going to be 4 by 4 1/4. So we're going to cut this at 4 1/4. So 4 1/4 by 4. There we go. Okay, and then the last piece of basic white that we need is going to be 1 1/4 by 3. So let's see what this one is here. See if we can use up this scrap. 1 1/4. 1 1/4 by 3. All right, so there we got all of our white pieces. So then we will do, we've got some granny apple green. So we're going to need a piece of granny apple green that measures 1 3/4 by 4. So I'm going to see if this one's big enough. Nope, that's not going to work. Let's try this one. So we'll do 1 3/4. 1 3/4 by, wait, 1 3/4 by 4. Okay. Trying to remember. I've got my little cheat sheet here next to me reminding me what I'm supposed to be doing. All right, so we got that one. Last but not least, we are going to have our designer series paper. So let me just move these other ones out of the way here. So we're going to take our designer series paper, and I'm going to cut a 1 1/2 inch strip. So 1 1/2 inches. Oh, see if we can line that up right. All right, 1 1/2 by 3 3/4. And we need 3 of these. So we're going to do 2 with the leaf pattern and 1 with the background pattern. So 1 1/2 by 3 3/4. There we go. So we've got those 3. All right, so we'll set some of this aside. I think that's it. We'll see if I missed anything. So we're going to start with, we've got all of these pieces here now. We're going to start with our 4 1/4 by 11 and see what we've got. Oh, Amanda just used this paper a couple days ago. That's awesome. It's so pretty. Today, actually, I was designing this card, and it was the first time I opened this paper pack. Okay, so we're going to score our base at 3 3/4 and 6 1/2. So 3 3/4 and 6 1/2. Now, I used my scoreboard as opposed to my trimmer just because it's easier to see those measurements that are over 6 inches. Yeah, it's just easier to do. So we'll create our Z-fold pattern. So you can see here we've got a Z, but it's not quite traditional. You've got your overlap over here. So that's what helps it to open a different way. So I'm going to take my bone folder here. We're just going to crease those 2 pieces. The name of this designer series paper is Celebrate Everything. All right, so we've got our, excuse me. Now I told you we are working from left to right. So as I hold out my entire card, we're going to start from the front panel and we're going to work our way inside. So you'll remember we cut our basic white in that order from front to inside. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I've got all of my papers at 4 inches. If you'll remember, we do have a back square that is 4 by 4 1/4. We're going to be stamping on it, so we want to make sure that it's facing the right direction. So I'm just going to make sure, okay, I've got all of these at 4 inches. So that'll help me to get started. So we'll take this one first, and we'll stick it on our front panel. Now, you can mix and match with any cardstock you want. I went with all white panels simply because of the stamping that I'm going to do, but you could easily change it up and have, 3 different colors. You could have, you could mix and match these 3 panels. So just so you know, that is an option. For our middle, oh, actually, you know what? We'll finish our front panel. I'm going to go ahead and put one of the Leaf Designer Series paper on the front panel. There we go. Now for our middle panel, we have a piece of designer series paper, but also the Granny Apple Green strip that we cut. So you're going to see it's the same height as the basic white. So it's going to go top to bottom. And then we'll put our strip of green. Now, I've chosen to turn over the leaf pattern and show the Granny Apple Green here for this middle one. If you don't like the front and back of a particular paper, of course you could just, mix and match however you need to make this card. All right, so we'll stick that here. Now for our last one, if you're in doubt, see if I had this turned this way, you're going to see that it doesn't work, okay? I mean, it does. It makes your basic white the same height as your card. So technically you could do it, but we want the same, even look across. So that's why I wanted to make sure that my card was turned the right direction. I'm going to be putting this on here, but before I do that, I want to stamp it. So we're going to grab our Granny Apple Green, and my card, or my stamp set today is Celebrate with Tags. I covered it up with all my scraps. Oh, goodness, now everything's falling over. Okay, Celebrate with Tags, and it has this great happy birthday stamp here, and then also Let's Celebrate You. So that's what we're going to be using. So we'll start with Let's Celebrate You, because we're going to stick that on the inside. I re-inked this ink pad right before this Facebook Live. It makes me really excited. Oh, stinkeroni. So, is that a word? Am I allowed to say that on Facebook Live? I messed up on the C right here. But there's a way that we can fix that. I'm just reaching over and grabbing a Granny Apple Green marker. And I have to turn this my way. We are just going to fill in with our marker what should have been stamped. This is why I have the Stamp and Write markers, you guys, because when you mess up on a stamp like that, you can grab your Stamp and Write marker and you can fill in the gaps if something didn't stamp quite right. So we've got that. And then we'll take our designer series paper and we'll put that here. And we'll put the entire thing on that back panel. Now, the other option is I could have also turned this piece of cardstock over and re-stamped right here. But since it was such a small thing that got messed up, it was actually easy to just fix it with my marker. Okay. Now, we got one more stamping to do, and that's on the basic white strip that we cut. And I'm going to use the Happy Birthday. Now, because my ink pad is freshly inked, it is nice and juicy. So I know it's going to ink this stamp quite lovely. Lovely? We're making up words here left and right, y'all. Okay, so that's stamped just perfectly. We'll take a scrap of Granny Apple Green. Actually, you know what? I should close this. Over the weekend, I was at a craft retreat and I went to close the ink pad, and instead I managed to put multiple fingers straight in the ink pad. My fingernail was soft succulent. My fingernail was green for a couple of days. It was quite cute. And then I was punching a bunch of stuff out at this retreat, with one of these punches, and I managed to put my hand in the side of the punch as I went down. The battle wounds of crafting, you guys. I bet some of you guys have some of those stories too, don't you? All right, we're going to stick a little tape here down the middle of our circle punch. Oh, and I should tell you, this is called the decorative circle punch. So that's what I'm using here. So I've just taped these two together. And we're going to bring over our card front and some dimensionals. And we'll dimensionalize this to the front of our card. And what I'm doing is I am putting my basic white just even with the edge of the basic white here. I mean, you don't have to, but that's just kind of the lineup that I'm looking for here. All right, last but not least, I am going to grab some of these in color opal rounds, and I'm going to use, this would be pale papaya, and I'm going to put the big ones on these opposite corners, and then I'm going to use the smaller one on the other corners. So we're just kind of making opposite our different sizes. And so here we have a fun birthday card for somebody born in the fall or somebody who just loves fall. Happy birthday. Let's celebrate you. So that is our fun fold for today. Of course, the sample looks exactly the same. I didn't actually change anything. Sometimes, you know, I make a sample and then I totally switch it up on Facebook Live. But today, I stuck with my sample. Oh, Kathy says she uses her markers for this as well. So if we open this up here, I mean, I can just barely tell that I messed with that C. It's, you know, it's a little bit different. But this is a homemade card, you guys. They're probably not even going to notice. They're just going to be so happy that you made them a handmade card. So it's just, I don't know, it's just fun to work with. So the Stampin' Right markers are also good for stamping or coloring on stamps. So you could color these stamps with your markers as well. Yes, good point, Kathy. All right, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in for Coffee and a Card today. I hope you enjoyed this fun fold here. And if you make one, I would love it if you would post your version over in the community group. I love seeing what you guys are making. So share your variation over in the community group so we can see how you made your modified Z-fold. All right, y'all, have a fantastic day. And don't forget to encourage one another and build each other up. I'll see you soon.